Pokemon is making moves. It's changing, it's evolving. Some may say it's leveling up, but if these games are good for anything, Gabe, it's ruffling feathers, and here we go once again. Because this morning a new trailer dropped, and it housed a lot of cool new features, new Pokemon, and 2 new gym leaders. And if you saw it be an Allister, you may have said to yourself, wow, these guys look cool, I can't wait to fight both of them. But if you looked on the website after it updated, you would learn that these are version exclusive gym leaders, and unless you buy both games, you sure aren't fighting both.
I think anybody that was worried about these games not being different enough can put those worries to rest now, Zach, because unfortunately there is a lot of good, a lot of bad, and a lot of ugly to talk about here. It's a very nuanced discussion. I know that a lot of people are going to make up their decisions quite quickly, but we do have things to discuss here.
Yes, indeed. And this is pretty monumental, gigantimental, dynamental, if you will. Because previously, Black and White introduced version-exclusive gym leaders, but that was with the 8th gym, a different face, same type and same lineup. Here it is far bigger because it is different gym leaders, different types in different towns, and that, to me, is a way bigger shift.
Absolutely a way bigger shift. I think that was maybe a sign of things to come now, I guess, in hindsight, but this is done in a way, way bigger way, and one that impacts us, because now if you want to experience the full version of what Gamefreak has done for this generation, you got to pay $120.
Well, definitely let us know in the comments down below how you're taking the version exclusive gym leader news, if it's exciting, if it's disappointing, if it's confusing. And I want to get back to the $120 thing, because I think that there's a positive and a negative to that, but initially, I'm all over this because I've wanted Pokemon to evolve and change for a long time. And I think one of the main things we wanted when we heard that they were bringing mainline Gen 8 to Switch was how are they going to step it up? How are they going to rework what we know Pokemon to be? And so far we've seen, honestly, a decent amount of things. The wild area, the raid battles, Dynamaxing, Gigantamaxing, the gyms taking the form of these giant stadiums, and now version exclusive gym leaders seems like another step in mixing it up. And I personally really appreciate that there will be different experiences for different trainers, because now it's not just what order do you catch the Pokemon or who's your team. It's I get to tell you and share a story about my experience battling against Allister, and you get to tell me about Bia. And the nuance of that, I think, further helps separate and individualize the experience of being a Pokemon trainer. Because, Gabe, if we were trainers, right, you might go here, I might go there, you might fight him, I might fight her, and we wouldn't have the same experience. Now, there's obviously a dark side to that, but I like it.
Yeah, I guess I'm of two minds with it, because the way you describe it sounds awesome, right? It is great that they're doing something different. We always wanted a more different Pokemon experience for their first big outing on Switch with a new generation. Right. And they're delivering it. So maybe there's not a lot to complain about there, but $120 is a steep price to experience everything. We go from traditionally paying $80 for 2 games to $120 for 2 games, and I guess there is where I just become conflicted, because that's a lot of money, and I know that people work very hard for that money, and having to spend that much more just because you want to experience everything that Game Freak's done this time around, it's obviously a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah, let me flip that for you, though.
Okay.
It might also be a bold new move that helps out, because if you're someone who's obsessed with Pokemon and you're going to buy both, well, now Game Freak has put more effort into the games to diversify, to differentiate. So now when I play through Sword and when I play through Shield, I'll get to have it be a bit different. On one hand, yeah, if you want everything, it's $120. On the other hand, if you're someone who is heavily invested and you're spending $120, well, now you get to at least a little bit more different experiences. And now the time you run through Sword, you get to fight against Bia and probably a few others. And the time you run through Shield, it's Allister and a few of his friends. I think that the types are going to stay the same. I think the order is just going to be different. And I think that obviously the character, the gym leader themselves will be different. But to me, that also then changes up the flow. It changes up the strategy. Who's your team going to be, knowing that, hey, the fighting gym comes first? I think that there is a way to look at this that says, hey, they have put more effort into incentivizing that $120.
Yeah, I mean, you're right as far as that goes. And if you want to think about it like that, cool. But it's also very hard to justify $120 for a game, even with the differences. Like, I guess for the people that only buy one game, that they want to experience everything, that's the only issue. For the people that are going to buy both anyways, then it's awesome, like you said. So
it could also be awesome if there's, then if you're able to, well, you can do one of two things. You can look at it and see, who do I want, what version exclusive Pokemon, what gym leaders, or you can be surprised. You can go in and just have a different experience. How many unique gym leaders do you think there are? 2, 3. It says leaders, towns. They're putting plurality into the website, so it's got to be more than just be an Allister.
I would probably say a few, maybe 2 or 3. Is my first.
It can't be 6.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, could it possibly be all of them? No, but
well, no, because Nessa it seems is in both. They
sure,
make
Nessa and then
there.
the grass type.
Yeah.
So those seem like they're in both. But yeah, I'm gonna say 3. 3 seems like a good number.
And we noticed that the area is the same, right? It's the same town, but then it has a different gym bearing a different insignia and a different leader. Initially, we had thought with the wild area, and the new game, could it be a little bit more open? It doesn't seem like it's going that route in terms of choosing which order, but the game is kind of giving you that different order itself, right? So now if you do play Sword or you do play Shield, it's not going all the way like Link Between Worlds where you can pick the dungeons, but it is, I don't want to say randomizing, but it is changing up the order for you based on which version you play.
How are you feeling about the actual challenges going into them? Do you think that changes a whole bunch? Because if it's very different challenges, probably, right?
Right. Well, we got to play Nessa's challenge at E3, and that was very water-based. You got big streams coming out of pipes, and you're turning them on and off. I don't think you're going to have you're breaking rocks for Bia, and you're breaking rocks for Allister. My question becomes, are the challenges gym-specific or leader-specific?
I mean, and how does this even, maybe I'm thinking about it too much, but lore-wise, in this region, what's the correct one, right? Because it's alternate realities,
different eras, different years. How does that even work? Why are they different?
Yeah.
Do you think that the gyms have double leaders? No, but they're changing type. Is it like a home and away thing? These are stadiums. The home, it's like the Clippers and the Lakers. We got Bia and Allister. They're like the home and the away. Yeah.
Shout out to Kawhi and Paul George now. But
that'll be really nifty to find out how they do explain that away, especially with multiplayer raid battles, because players are going to be able to sort of intermingle. So Galar kind of needs to be the same in both spaces.
Maybe it is we keep talking about Zelda randomly. Oh, maybe it is a Link Between Worlds where there's 2 different worlds, and you got to go through.
What if it's just someone's sick on vacation, they get replaced, then a changeover?
Okay.
I don't know. Either way, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it pans out, and then see what comparing the Psychic Gym in each, because we do fully expect that it's not types are going to be version exclusive. The leaders, yes, and what towns they're in, yes, but I fully expect there will be a fighting type gym in Pokemon Shield.
Okay. Well, before we get out of here, I want you to give me your final thoughts on this. How are you feeling? Just you personally, of course. Everyone can have different opinions. I'll give mine right after you, but I want to know your take.
Yeah, I think it's like anything. A new wave sometimes can be overwhelming, but I feel like Gamefreak even talked about earlier this week about how they like to bring change to the series, but it's usually they take it at a very slow approach. They don't want to ruffle too many feathers, just a few feathers, not Pidgeotto level feathers, just Pidgey feathers. This will probably go over a little bit harshly. I think it's ultimately great for the games. I think having more differences, more unique experiences, and separating your trainer journey from mine. We talked about even with Let's Go that, wow, it feels like a real living, breathing Pokemon world. They're rolling around in the grass. The characters look great. This time now you can fully explore the wild area as an open space, move the camera. So if we're trying to create the best Pokemon experience we can, if we're trying to really just embed you into the world and give you that immersive experience, then these differences fully work towards that end goal. And I love that, Gabe, when you get Pokemon Shield, you're going to be able to go and grab some exclusive Pokemon, tell me about that time, and then also share with me your battle against Allister. And I'm going to go and I'm going to grab my version exclusive Pokemon. Maybe I'll trade you 1 or 2, but then I'm going to be able to talk to you about how I took on Bia and how my team changed and was needed to be different as I progressed. Plus, from there, if I do want to go back and I love it enough, I want to play again, well, now I can spend money and know that I'm going to get something that is worth it because it is different.
Okay. One thing I want to say before I get into my thoughts, Zach, still seems like Shield's the version to get. Allister's so much cooler than Bia. I'm sorry.
Allister is cool.
All right.
Who knows what the version exclusive Pokemon, the full list is. I'm holding out that Sword can help me out here, but yeah, Shield right now is kind of killing it.
Yeah, okay. A lot of what you say is valid, for sure. But I do think that maybe they're changing a little too much too soon. I know they say they like gradual changes, but with the Pokedex thing and now this, like, it seems like these games become a little bit like trickier to fully like delve into for like both of them, for everyone, I guess. So the $120 thing, I can't get over how much money that is. For
You don't have to.
No, I know you don't have to, but for people that like want to, like, and now if you don't, like, let's say you were like perfectly fine not getting both, right? Because you could trade.
Sure.
Well, now you can't even experience every gym, right? What if you have like way cooler like gym challenges than me and stuff like that? Like that for me is like the big, like, iffy part, really. But I agree with a lot of what you say, honestly, and like with everything in life, I don't think it's black and white. I'm like right in the middle with this.
We're way past that generation. Yeah, way past black and white.
Yeah, so if I can like if I can have a little bit of a cop out here, I think it's both good and a little troublesome. It depends on the type of person it is. For me, I know I'm still like super excited about the game, so I have no issue. And I don't know, maybe I will get both, because I want to be able to play all these gyms.
I also want to point out that it's July, and we now know that there are different gyms, Gigantamaxing, Dynamaxing, new Pokemon, obviously, Wild Area, Stadiums, Chairman Rose, Leon. We still have August, September, October, and then the games launch in November. Are there more differences to these games than we initially think? Are there more changes and version exclusives besides just Pokemon and gyms? Could there be more lurking in terms of events, places, experiences, side quests that are version exclusive? We'll have to wait and see, but let us know your take in the comments down below. How are you taking this news? Do you feel like it enhances and is the step and the evolution that you've been waiting for, or do you feel like it is ruffling too many feathers and you are going to be a little bit bummed? Let us know your take in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. We really hope you did. This was a great way to start the week, and any new Pokemon info is always important and awesome, so we will keep you covered. Until then, though, for myself and Gabe, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. SwitchForce out.